Hi, welcome to Eden's Work Ethic, Practical Country Living. My name is Mark, and today we're going to talk about encounters with wildlife. Now, today's video was supposed to be about putting amendments in the soil, getting it ready for next season, and we're going to do that in the next video. Sometimes when you live in the country, you have encounters with wildlife, and that's what happened to us this week. An unexpected encounter, I should say. And living in northern New England, there's a lot of wildlife out here. I've had encounters with black bears, bobcats, deer. Obviously, we have a lot of deer up here in northern New England, and even moose. I had a moose right here on the property a few months ago, not far from me. And fortunately for me and for human beings, usually these encounters are they can be a little bit scary, but usually either the animal runs away or you run away, or everyone runs away from each other, and that's all good. But on occasion we have situations where we have an opportunity to help wildlife, and that's kind of what happened this week. Now usually I'm inclined to let nature take its course, let things be as they are. But in this case, it was a little difficult. My wife found a flying squirrel underneath a tree, a baby flying squirrel underneath a tree right in front of our house. Which we often go by this tree, when we exercise on the property or when the kids are playing. And at first we wanted to kind of just leave the wildlife there, just leave the flying squirrel there and let its mother come to retrieve it. But after hours of leaving it there, it wasn't happening. So it was crying out for help, so we did the best we could. We did our best to help it. So we documented that, and we're going to show it to you today. Stay tuned. So here we have a baby squirrel. Looks like it fell out from the tree. I don't know if it's injured. From what I understand, baby squirrels can survive their terminal velocity when they fall from trees, and usually what's supposed to happen is that the mother will come and retrieve it. It's been a few hours now, so I was reading up on this online, and they say the first thing you should do is just give it a few hours and see if the mother will come pick up its baby. Now it fell from this tree here, which is, we have a pine tree right near the house. My wife, went out this morning, or came out to the yard this morning to do some exercising, around the property. And she comes by the tree, and she tells me that there's a mouse, a dying mouse that keeps making noise, to go take care of it. So I come out here, and I look at the baby, and I realize it's not a mouse. And now that I'm looking at it, it's not even just a regular squirrel. It's actually a flying squirrel. You can see the little flaps right by the arm. Now the mother hasn't come to pick it up. Maybe there's something I'm not realizing about this. Like I said, I read up on regular squirrels that baby mothers will rarely ever abandon their babies. I don't know about flying squirrels. I just noticed right now this is a flying squirrel, not just what we would call just a regular gray squirrel. You can see the flap there right by the arm. So I'm gonna go look up, see what we can do. Maybe I need to call the wildlife management, or maybe I just need to leave it alone. The mother will come. I don't know. I'll get back to you. But it definitely is making a call for its mother, I presume. Fortunately, it's not a cold day, but we are supposed to be getting heavy rains. So hopefully we can resolve this real soon. Comes in today, and she's like, "Oh, there's a mouse, a dying mouse, or a mouse that's already dead. That's by the under the pine tree by the house, or the closest pine tree to the house." And I don't really like dealing with rodents. I grew up in the city. If you grew up in the city, you're used to seeing big rats and even big mice, really. So I don't like rodents, but so I was like, okay, I just got to deal with it. I got to pick it up and throw it in the woods, or maybe even do what I have to do to put it out of its misery. But I look at it and I'm like, that doesn't look like a mouse. The closer I get, I realize it's actually a. So I go and I take a closer look, and I realize it's not just a regular gray squirrel. It's actually a flying squirrel. It has a little flap by its arm, and I realize it's a flying squirrel. So now I'm gonna try and see what I can do for the flying squirrel. I'm gonna, fortunately it's not winter, or attempt to rescue it. Maybe someone in town. I read online. Apparently, people sometimes keep flying squirrels as pets. I don't know how that works, and we're not gonna do that because, like I said, we're not really rodent people here. But I'm gonna attempt to save it. I'm gonna, go on the town page, the Facebook page, and see if anyone knows what to do, or if I need to call wildlife management in the area and see if they can do something about it. So that's what I'm gonna do. So just follow me, I guess. So I'm gonna try to pick it up without touching it. So I got here a little sand shovel, from the sandbox from the kids. I don't want to hurt it, so I don't want to drop it. So I'm gonna pick it up and maybe try to walk low, and that's what I'm gonna try. So here goes. So here it is again. Cute little guy. You can hear they're calling for its mother. It's been a few hours, the mother hasn't come. So I guess Papa here is gonna try to take the squirrel to safety. Hopefully it doesn't move too much. I'm gonna try not to take it up too high. I'm gonna try to keep it on the shovel. I have a little blanket, a little rag from the shop that I put on the porch there. Now, one of the reasons I'm also moving it from under the tree, we're expecting heavy rains today. Fortunately, it's not cold, but the rains here can get pretty bad, pretty heavy, and pretty windy. So I'm gonna put it right here. I'm not expecting any animals to come after it, and hopefully it'll be safe for now. I'm gonna go on the town Facebook page, post some pictures, and see if anyone's interested in rehabilitating it, or maybe called wildlife management. Now, I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera, but like I told you before, this is actually a flying squirrel. It has a little flap under its arm, and I'm just gonna wrap it up just to keep it, nice and warm for a little while. Don't want to cover its face too much, and hopefully that's enough for now. And I'm gonna go try to get help. So the response on Facebook has been pretty good from the local people here in town. They recommended, or someone I should say recommended a wildlife rehabilitator that's nearby, but I gave them a call, I gave them a try, and apparently they're at capacity. So I'm still searching, I'm still looking, and I'm also checking up on Rocky here. I named the squirrel Rocky, the flying squirrel. So I have to find Rocky a rehabilitation center somewhere nearby. So I finally found the rehab center that's willing to take Rocky. So one of the things that I was told to do is to take a shoebox and put paper towels, line it with paper towels. So that's what I did. I double lined it with paper towels. So now I'm gonna pick Rocky up and put him in there, and get ready to ship him off to the rehab center. So I thank God that we were able to find a place to take him, and that's what we're gonna do now. So I have my shoebox here, double lined with paper towels, and I put some gloves on. I double gloved because it's a wild animal and I want to be careful. Also, this time I don't want to use a shovel because I don't want to injure Rocky. So I'm gonna just kind of grab him. Now this is really scary for me to do. I'm not gonna touch him. I'm gonna avoid touching him as much as possible. And there you go. He's in there, nice and comfortable. and I'm going to take him off to the rehab center. They also told me to close the lid, so I'm going to go ahead and do that as well. So now Rocky's in his temporary home and we're going to take him off. Alright, so we're here at the rehab center for Rocky. Drop him off. So from what we were told at the rehab center by the lady in charge there, the lady who did the rehabs on these wild animals, was that apparently getting flying squirrels was a rare thing for them. So I don't know if it's because there's not many abandoned flying squirrels, or just because they're nocturnal and people don't run into them like that. So for her, it was a long time, from what she told me, years since she's gotten a flying squirrel for rehab. So we were happy to help. We were happy to do all that we could do for Rocky, and we didn't have experience doing this. It was our first time, so we read up on things that we should do. I tried not to touch it with my hands. Maybe some of that was because I didn't want to touch the rodent, but also I didn't want to hurt it. I didn't want to over squeeze it. I don't know a lot about these things. So we did the best that we could. I sought out help and advice from the community. And I was actually given multiple places. Once it was all said and done, of multiple places of rehab centers where I could take the squirrel. And ultimately, we chose one about an hour away because she was immediately available, and that's what we did. So will we do it again next time? Probably we would. Hopefully we won't have to. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, take care and God bless you. Goodbye.